As county executive, what are your specific plans to create economic activity in Silver Spring, the East County, White Oak, Rockville, Gaithersburg, Wheaton, et cetera? In other words,
Everywhere. In other words, everywhere.
Everywhere but Bethesda.
getting beyond the premise report of a potential overfocus on Bethesda, Chevy Chase. Rose Krasnow.
I don't know. Is it working? If it's working, I'll stay here. So I'm a little short, and if I go over there, I kind of disappear. So having worked at the planning department for the last 13 years, one of the things I am very proud of is that we recognized we needed to create new areas for growth. This county is 3 distinct parts. We have our CBDs, we have our suburban wedge, and we have our ag reserve. And all 3 are extremely important. But from the standpoint of the changes that we are seeing in terms of transportation, in terms of what companies are looking for, we knew we needed to concentrate growth in areas near infrastructure. We probably would not be on the short list for Amazon if we hadn't created the White Flint Master Plan in 2010. It calls for that type of development. We have the land available. White Oak. Unfortunately, we've had politicians in this county who wanted the East County to stay in moratorium for the reasons I still do not understand. It's working. But what we now know is that we need the growth there. We have FDA to build on, and we can make it a very vibrant part of our community. Silver Spring has done great. Yes, I know we lost Discovery, but if you look at it, Silver Spring compared to where it was several years ago, we should be proud, and we need to continue that growth. And I think that working with others, lowering some of the taxes and the regulations, getting rid of the energy tax, we have those amenities. Let's bring people here.
Mr. Frick.
So let me answer by talking about 2 topics. The first is leadership. Funny thing about the office of the county executive is it isn't really that powerful, right? In terms of institutional powers, the county executive is frankly somewhat weak institutionally. The council has virtually total policy power. The council has overwhelming budget power. So really the county executive role, if all you've got are sort of typical CEO powers of hiring and firing, promoting, isn't that powerful. You're going to have to imbue it with some personality power and political power. And that's what we've seen when development has been successful in this county, right? County Executive Duncan said, I am going to revitalize Silver Spring or die trying. Well, that's how I feel about parts of our county. I grew up in Kensington, just down from Wheaton Plaza, down from Wheaton. I used to go up there on the weekends of my dad's. He would root around in the used bookstores. I have not seen the kind of development and growth in Wheaton that it deserves. It's close in, it's on the metro. It should be a vibrant community. The second piece, and it's related to this, is we need to build the modern, diverse communities that millennials want to live in. Right? They want to live in diverse, walkable communities. They want to live where they work. Many of them don't ever want to own cars. And if we're going to fulfill the challenge that Honorable has given us of attracting those young professionals, we need to create those kinds of communities, not just the suburban office parks. Don't take my word for it, take Arnie Sorensen. But I know we can do that. We can do it in Wheaton and Silver Spring and White Oak. Thank you.
Mr. Blair.
Many of you are business owners, and you all know that as a business owner, and as a CEO, you can't just walk into a group of meeting with your managers and say, do this, find some space, make a product, do this, sell it, I'm going to go to lunch, right? That a business leader is about inspiring, right? So my company doubled on average every 2 years. We were one of Fortune's most admired companies. And you do that by inspiring people to do great things. Now, I think the question was about how we're going to fill some of this space in Silver Spring. All right, so Silver Spring, we lost Discovery, right? Real kick in the shin. As a lifetime Montgomery County resident, there's always deep sense of pride that we had Discovery. If I was your county executive, here's what I would have done the day they left. I've been on the phone with every private equity, venture capital firm that specializes in the communication or entertainment field saying, you should put your next startup business right here in Silver Spring. We've got the talent to do that. Another thing that I haven't talked about is how we've become business friendly. Probably the most overused, least understood phrase by our business officials, right? And so I've got specific plans. So my wife opened up a business last year. We got so much conflicting advice from inspectors. Right before we opened, they're like, you're going to have to redo the wiring system. And when we said, well, what happened? They said, oops, the inspector missed it. They missed it. So to me, business friendly means if an inspector misses it, we're going to pay for it. And trust me, we won't miss much because we're going to have a sense of accountability and consistency because that's just wrong. And we will become business friendly.
Thank you. Mr. Leventhal?
It's been my great privilege to represent everyone in this county for 16 years, and I understand the circumstances of every community, and I know the leadership, and each community is different. I will have a different strategy for Glenmont than I will have for White Oak, but I assure you that community development will be a major priority for me as county executive. We've let that go. MCEDC, with good reason, is concentrating on marketing and attracting talent. They're not really concentrating on specific neighborhood-focused community development plans. So we've had master plans, but then after the master plan is done, there is not the kind of follow-through of assembling property owners, attracting investors, and making sure that we are investing in specific areas based on their specific needs. Glenmont, to me, is the highest on the list of underutilized metro accessible space. So I will assemble the property owners, I will assemble the community, and try to find a way to get Glenmont's amenities to be commensurate with the incomes of the people who live near Glenmont. There's a lot of frustration in some of these small urban centers that the people who live there are not finding that the amenities and the services are what they expect, and they have to drive a long way to get there. White Oak is a great area of opportunity. I think we may have pitched it a little excessively heavily. I've been spending a lot of time with biotechnology leaders, and biotechnology leaders want adjacency. Spreading biotechnology throughout Montgomery County may be a strategy that doesn't work. Maybe we need to recognize the strengths that we have and build on those. And by the way, my first budget as county executive will include a significant reduction in the energy tax. I acknowledge it is making us anti-competitive in energy-intensive industries.
Mr. Elrich?
I'll just say Fairfax County's energy tax is lower than ours, but you want to trade that for the 3% gross receipts tax, which raises more money from businesses than the entire energy tax does from businesses and homeowners? I don't think it's a very good trade, and Fairfax has to do something, just like we're doing things to raise money. But I want to talk about what I think you need to do in the smaller, in these scattered communities. One is, I want to put back into economic development the regional service centers, economic development specialists that work with the local communities. We used to have them. We don't have them anymore. You used to have guys who went into shopping centers, talked to the people in the shopping centers, what are the issues you're dealing with. We need to put that touch back on the ground and reconnect ourselves in the communities. I want to talk about real quickly about bus rapid transit. When I got on the council and I was looking at where we were developing in the county, and what the problems were with traffic, which Mr. Basu referred to, I asked the question, how are we going to move people if you want to have the economic development that you're going to have? We looked at all the origin destination pairs in Montgomery County, and we mapped out a system, a 110-mile system of bus rapid transit meant to connect people from where they live to where they work. Not just Bethesda, but a line down Route 29, lines down Georgia Avenue, lines down Connecticut Avenue, lines down Wisconsin Avenue, lines down Veers Mill Road, so we could move people and we could provide stimulation for these business centers that line these corridors. I think we can go forward. I had the vision to put this idea out there, and if Amazon comes, they're going to be using 3 or 4 of these lines.
Mr. Councilman Berliner?
So I shared with you some thoughts on Silver Spring, because Silver Spring really ought to pop. Sometimes things lag in people's perceptions of communities. The residential sector in Silver Spring is going great, okay? It is, in fact, it's superb. It is the face of Montgomery County. The commercial sector is struggling. Discovery leaving is a blow. And so that's why I've suggested looking at the MOVE program and creating more incentives for people to relocate in Silver Spring. Wheaton also has the legs to succeed. And I'm pleased that we are creating in Wheaton now county government office space right in the heart of Wheaton. We need to work with WMATA, for example, in making sure that we use all the space that's available right there in the heart of Wheaton, and make sure that we're using that space to create a more vibrant center, because it creates a dead zone right there. I worked with WMATA on our Amazon bid. We can use this real estate more effectively. Let's talk about White Oak. White Oak, we have a partnership with our private sector partners, right? We have FDA, we have Adventists. If we can't grow around that sector, then shame on us. And we should be able to do it, and I am committed to doing it. We are a tale of two counties. We have great wealth in our county, and we need to spread that wealth. Silver Spring, Wheaton, and White Oak, and that is my commitment if I have the chance to lead this county forward.